In this section, we'll be focusing on the response phase of your flood management plan. Start by working through the response checklist. This is not a checklist to complete during a flood event. Instead, this is a list of actions and planning choices that you will make prior to a flood event, which will help you respond effectively. Some of the important steps on the checklist involve planning how you'll prioritize safety and monitor any emerging flood risk, as well as communication cascades, understanding safe travel routes, and required procedures. These steps are detailed on your response action plan. The response action plan is designed to help you write down some of the different actions you will need to work through in the event of a flood. This will help you understand and plan your flood response before it happens. The communications cascade is essentially a list of steps that will need to be taken and who is responsible for them to ensure that all stakeholders have been notified of the flood event and directed to take appropriate action accordingly. For example, it may start with committee members who are registered with the service to receive a severe weather alert. Then, the President will advise all other committee members and club stakeholders who are able to respond to the alert. Then, the Vice President will contact coaches and managers via a text message or a WhatsApp group. And then, the club secretary or another committee member who manages social media accounts may post on social media. Another important consideration in the response phase is what areas are likely to be flooded and inaccessible. It's a good idea to screenshot your club area on the Brisbane City Council flood awareness map and list roads that may be closed. For instance, if we return to our previous example, the western end of Crosby Road and Fox Street are likely to be flooded. However, the club may be accessible from parts of Queens Roads or the eastern end of Crosby Road. Lastly, sit down with your committee and think about a list of procedures that need to take place if you believe a flood event is going to occur. Use the information on your asset register, your Floodwise property report, and any previous experiences to help formulate what your particular club may need to do to minimize damage and stress in a flood event. Remember, only enact the flood management procedures if it is safe to do so. Some procedures may be to move expensive equipment upstairs to high ground, or to turn off all the power at the switchboard. And just a final note to re-emphasize, while enacting the response phase, please continually monitor the flood risk and immediately stop flood procedures and safely leave the premise when the emerging flood risk is assessed as too great to continue. All decisions in this process must be made first and foremost on the basis of personal safety. It is of utmost importance to remember to never enter floodwater, keep informed about weather patterns and forecasts, and act on advice quickly. Stay away from rivers, creeks, or drains, and never drive, ride, or walk through floodwater.